Georgia citizens pay the fourth highest electric bills in the United States, and we will likely become first. Here are some startling facts. In 2020, Georgia Power earned the highest profit of any utility in the United States, even though Georgia is in the bottom 10 in terms of wealth and does not have a large population. In 2019, Southern Company CEO Tom Fanning earned a record breaking $28 million. His compensation was higher than any other utility CEO in the US and higher than any Fortune 500 company CEO in Georgia, including Delta Airlines, Coca Cola, Home Depot, and UPS. Are your high power bills connected to rich utility profits and big money for CEOs? Absolutely, they are. Let's look at the Georgia Public Service Commission to see why. Commissioners at the Georgia Public Service Commission decide how much profit Georgia Power earns because they're a monopoly. When they allow Georgia Power to earn large profits, power company executives earn big money, money that came to them from your power bills. Who are these five commissioners? You can learn who they are at this website. Let's look closely at one, Tim Echols, because he's up for election in 2022. Between 2008 and 2018, residential prices increased by 16%, twice as much as commercial rates, which only increased 8%, while industrial rates enjoyed a 10% price decrease over those years. These price shifts are invisible to you except when you get your power bill. Commissioners, including Tim Echols, authorized this to happen. Why? Business and industrial customers have lobbyists who ask for low rates for themselves at the commission and make campaign contributions to the commissioners. Residential customers like you do not have paid lobbyists. That's why your rates went up twice as much as business rates did and went down for large industrial corporations. Who looks out for your interests? The commissioners are supposed to, but in Georgia, they don't. Not only did they allow rates to shift favorably for business lobby groups, but early in 2019, Georgia Power asked the Georgia Commission for a $2 billion rate increase, by far the largest in the country. Commissioners heard testimony from expert witnesses and PSC staff asking them not to authorize such high rate increases for residential consumers. Tim Echols ignored their testimony and created a motion for the commission to vote yes to what paid lobbyists wanted and voted to give huge profits to Georgia Power. Nearly every decision in the rate hearings benefited Georgia Power over consumer interests. No consumer groups signed the settlement. If we give Tim Echols a letter grade for keeping rates low, he gets an F. During the first year of the pandemic, most states prohibited utilities from disconnecting customers for non-payment to help people who lost their jobs or were ill. Georgia did too, but Tim Echols didn't like that. How do we know? In July of 2019, Tim led the vote to resume disconnections after just 3 months. Over 13,000 Georgia customers were immediately disconnected during the hottest month of the year. Community leaders such as Dr. Mildred McLean of Harambe House in Savannah, Georgia, said Echols led me to believe that he was a champion of vulnerable communities, and he absolutely has reneged on that. I have no trust in the Public Service Commission. Over 24 consumer and environmental groups such as hers petitioned the commission for more time and more help and were denied. When asked after the vote why he did not support helping people during the pandemic, Tim Echols said this:
Georgia Power's not a charity.
Public Service Commissioner Tim Echols pushes back on the idea that the moratorium should have continued longer.
Other states resumed disconnections either in fall, when extreme summer heat would not put people's lives at risk, or waited for a full year to provide consumers more pandemic relief. Tim Echols says that Georgia Power is not a charity. They are, however, a monopoly and made $1.72 billion in profit in 2019, while having no competition. Your power bills allowed their board to pay CEO Tom Fanning $28 million in record-breaking compensation, while those hurt during the pandemic had their power cut off. This was fine with Tim Echols, who says Georgia Power provides superior service, and in 2019 gave them well above national average for utility profits. If we give Tim Echols a letter grade for protecting consumers, he gets an F. Commissioners are elected by voters to protect their interests, whether it's in tough times like a pandemic or in deciding what your rates are. Are they listening too much to paid lobbyists? Georgia Public Service Commissioners have an important role in your life. At least one is always up for election. Every time you vote, consider whether they represent you or paid lobbyists.